Okay, I'm on my way down. Nope, that's not the nap button. This is the nap button. Man, I could use a nap button in real life. He does it so on command. If I had a 22-minute time limit to fall asleep on command, not only would I not fall asleep in the 22 minutes that I am given, but the very act of needing to sleep on demand would only make it harder to sleep. But also, like, I never fall asleep that fast. I'm, like, incapable of it. What is the secret? Hearthians are made different. There's the boathouse, which is simultaneously the back entrance. And I think I might just blow out all the candles? Only the two next to the thing extinguished, but why not go all in, right? So it might mean all of them, for all I know. I'm a little confused and a little concerned that I might just be out of sequence right now, because I did already discover a combination here where you have a specific candle be extinguished, which led to something happening, right? So is there two different inputs in the same room? Or am I just rediscovering the step I already did? That said, the thing that tells me to do the loading screen trick is so embedded deep into the other secrets that, like, how would I ever think, like, how could I have gotten that far without having discovered this first? I don't really remember the exact hierarchy of... Yeah, it's dark in here. Like, I'll admit I don't remember the exact hierarchy of events and how the puzzle tree has worked, because there's just so many steps and things to remember, but, like, I feel like I needed to know how to do this before I could get there. So that vision, I just have to hope that the vision is just still showing me something new and not something old. But we'll find out soon. Oh, right. I always feel like I need to walk back, but that's actually not right. I wonder where I'm gonna find the guy that broke free. I mean, maybe I won't. He'd have... That's the thing, like, with a nomai. It's not enough that he didn't die with everybody else. Something has to keep him alive. With Solanum, they were only alive because, what was it? I think she was in the eye, wasn't she? She was, like, displaced from time. And I think she even admits that she may not be genuinely alive, or not entirely alive herself. So the rules get confusing. Well, it's receded. If nothing else, I don't remember what was here. You punk ass, you ruined it all. Yes, this was where all the combinations were. But they're all gone. And this is the real world, yeah. So I can't, like, drop my artifact and be like, oh, maybe it says something else when you're out of this thing. So this is a dead end? I mean, don't those look like the things they carried off in the 3 visions? Oh, this is the closest real. Let's not lose the artifact. I looked at that one recently. In the 3 visions, they carried the things off, but I checked out all those locations. Yeah, each of those 3 stealth-style levels took me into the archives, which I've been to all 3 of now, and they gave me error messages, one of which told me that I could get into the area I was just in by jumping off the boat. Okay. But that didn't lead to anything new. Okay, so next thing to try. Let's just try jumping off the boat at a different loading screen. Maybe that'll give me access to a different chunk of that place. Is this where the... yeah, this is where the boat is. I already unlocked it. So let's see if taking a different boat loading screen takes me to one of the other 3 prongs. Maybe it's that simple. I kind of doubt it, though. I kind of doubt it because you usually have to solve each individual part of a thing. They usually don't just make you do a thing 3 times just because. Was that the sound of everyone dying in the first area? Is it time already for that? But usually if there's a multi-part process, each one has its own solution to work for, and not just a thing you just go for. So I don't think I can put it down. I could try to look around. And just don't go that way. Is this where I was earlier? In the archive? It's like, here's one. And it's burned out. That's what I thought. Yeah, I haven't... yeah, I think I've been here before. I think I'm in the archive. Yeah. I'm here again. Is there a secret to getting you to reveal these to me? At the moment, there are multiple locations that are these plaque things, but they're all burned out. If I get far enough away? Can I read you? I don't think so, because that's the first one I looked at. Weirdly, it reminds me of Fez or something, like I'm seeing something I'm not supposed to, but it's actually like a solution to something, but like, you know, it's just some RGB shit. It's burned out here, too. Am I What I can't help but think is that there's some trick to deal with these. Because these are in the simulation. And there's like, I think one of these was at each of the archive rooms. Which makes me think there might be a trick to unveiling what they're supposed to say. Because if you can find out what the password was, then you can get that stuff done. And they're all like, they're even in the same room apparently. We now know. They're all in the same environment. So while the other place, they were all in one room together, at this point, they're spread throughout this place. You have to earn each one. Admittedly, I don't want to have to replay each stealth section to get to all of them again, but that might be what we have to do. But first I have to figure out how to redo these. Or I guess maybe I don't have to replay the stealth sections. Because what I can actually do is just get to them from here, apparently. Like, that's the whole trick. Ooh. That's a trippy effect. I'm in the tower and it just got fucked up. That's my dead end for now. I'm not sure what to do with that. 3 burns in 3 directions. I'm just kind of assuming the other ones are around here, and that all the library places are in one place. You guys had like different messages. Which one is this? That's the story one. You guys were really consistent. They all gave me 1 story reveal and 1 error message. So this is the most recent one I found, yeah. The secret way to fall off and get there. The other 2 were the bells and walking away from my lantern. I suppose you could interpret that as me having found the middle. Yeah. So there's 3 error messages. There's 3 locks that I blow out from those 3 positions. It felt like the first one was free, but it wasn't, was it? The first one I got by doing the trick. So I just need to apply the tricks are for kids. Oops. Accidentally did the scary ending by not bringing my thing. Oh, this is not going to last very long. Oh, this is dark. That's distressing. Is it going to work? That's grim. It's, yeah, we saw that in the visions. If you die in this room, you wake up inside the simulation. That's what happened to everybody else. So I had to finally go through and let myself die in order to continue. That's just distressing. So now I'm dead, and I live for as long as this flame lasts, which is until this tower falls over, which the dam already broke, so I don't have a lot of time, so I better hurry up. But then I don't understand how to solve the other one, because the third thing that those things taught me was to walk away from my lantern, and I did, and I saw the bridge, and it's all fucked up and unusable. Which is... that's why I leaped to the idea that I need to use yeah, those are all the 3 different archives. So I can access them all from here. So I guess this trick allows me to access all those archives without having to do the stealth sections again. So that's nice. It's like a shortcut. We already blew this one out? No, we didn't. That was a different timeline. So this is the one that I get, that I thought it was like the free one, because when I get here, I've already solved this one, and the other ones I don't know how to get to. But what we learned is that when people are dead, the alarms don't work on them. Yeah. It was foolish of me to treat that like it's just a story reveal. Of course it's a gameplay reveal, everything is. Of course, when I saw that happen, where they would die, and then the alarms couldn't wake them up, I was fixated on how grim and distressing that is, but I should have also been thinking about how I can use that. But you, I don't know what to do with. Can you come down here? Oh, wait. That's okay. That's how I get the combination. It's almost like a fake out. Ah. That's clever. All right. Does mean that the last chain I blow open, I'm not gonna see, basically. You just gotta trust that it's happening. It's so weird to see one bubble of graphics over there. I mean, it's all graphics, but one bubble of normal graphics with all its like realistic lighting made farcical by how it's just a tiny little area and everything around it looks like that. But you can't see out of it. Shit. I thought I was gonna have to do some big spanning time trial like I did with the other place. But the 3 locks were just all in one place. It's a portal? Oh, God. This is my hole. It was made for me. This is like that SCP with the infinite staircase. Somebody made a board, an indie game out of it, and it was really distressing. Just because you could see so little. No? No. Nope. Here I go. The only way to solve this place was to be dead. It's alarming. Hey. Friend? Friend! I finally get to talk to one. Who are you? Are you the one that caused the Nomai to come here? I think he caused the Nomai to come here with that one moment. Then he's been in prison, so he's been in the bell the whole time. I don't think he took that very well. So you called the Nomai, and then they all died. And now I'm like the third dying civilization. Where are you going? How long have you been imprisoned in here? Wait a minute. What, I'm next now? Oh, okay, it's coming back down. This seemed like a bit of a dick move to imprison me immediately. I love how they're bound by music. I loved the two different sets of music playing. And the new unique version of the original Outer Wilds theme. That's just, it's just been burned into my head this whole, like, for the last few days. Like it always was. It's just, it's back. The story just got more tragic somehow. But where did he go? Just sail off into the sun. Can I take it? I'm sailing off, but there's nowhere to go here, is there? What am I meant to do with that? Guess I'll just kill myself. We don't do this. This is a bad call. I think that's it. Like, he sailed off into the sun. Like, happy ending, right? I don't know. It could have been more. Could have been a more definitive ending. Like, I don't know. Probably like something that very obviously resets the loop. Or maybe instead of just leaving me hanging there, being like, I don't know, but did I do it? But I guess we doed it. Huzzah. I mean, I freed him, so that's something. And it's pretty conclusive to, like, meet a character like that. And get to have an outcome as a result. Well, that's neat. And yeah, it's not like it gave me any new information I could use to, like, try to do anything progression-wise. He just taught me that he was the one that unsealed the signal, which called the Nomai here. And then I showed him everything that happened as a result, and, yeah, not good news. He got imprisoned forever and exiled by his own people. And then another civilization, well, not civilization, one ship also died as a result. And also I'm in an infinite death loop, but the infinite part is the Nomai's fault and therefore his fault, but the death is not. That's just the sun. So that sucks. I don't think we haven't really fixed that, have we? I don't know. I guess that's the point, though, is you never really can. Okay, I'm finally here. I wanted to see how this affects the ending. And it took me a while to get here again. I didn't remember how the ending sequence worked, and there was some trial and error, but I'm finally at least this far, so hopefully I can not screw this up somehow. Also, are there new notes here? Oh yeah. The sealed vault. I met one of the stranger's inhabitants who was imprisoned within the vault. The prisoner showed me a vision revealing the actions they took that resulted in their eternal confinement. I used the vision torch to share my knowledge of the solar system's history with the prisoner. And then he gone. Don't know how much time we have. Also, don't totally remember how this part works. No. This is hard. Probably because I'm in a hurry. I don't know how much time I have. I'm so nervous. This one's like some shit like this. Yeah. It's hard to control. I'm sure it's tearing out of control. What? Oh, is it you? Okay. Oh, that's why. This would have been way easier. It's so hard to control your character. Ooh. When you're flying. Huh? Oop. Here we are. The crushing realization that everything you've worked for ultimately just led to, like, an increased understanding of what was happening. But not, like, an actual salvation. You cannot stop the Hearthians from going extinct. And you cannot stop the sun from going supernova. You can't even break the 22-minute loop, except for, well, I guess you can in that this is some kind of escaping the loop, I guess. In that nothing's happening, everything's gone. The trees are teleporting around. Something like the quantum moon, but everything's teleporting around based on the lighting. That's creepy. What's this place like when no one's here to perceive? Oh, there it went. I couldn't really remember how it worked. It was kind of kicking me back out at first. Well, this would be terrifying. I suppose everything else happening in this game already is. Everyone's here. In memoriam. Nomai never got to see it for themselves, but thanks to their efforts and technology, our Hearthian was able to reach the eye of the universe. The radio tower on Timber Hearth was built to receive transmissions from our deep space satellite, and house some of the last ever photos taken of the entire solar system. One of these photos revealed the existence of an invisible ring world inhabited by a species whose presence in our solar system predated even the Nomai. The species traveled from a nearby star system in search of the Eye of the Universe, but horrified by what they discovered, decided to block the Eye's signal so that no one else would ever find it. One individual, however, rebelled against the decision and was able to briefly release the Eye's signal back into space, before being caught and imprisoned in solitude for his betrayal. And he's the reason the Nomai came here and died. It's a cursed solar system. I'll be fine. That's cool. I'll just die out here in space. I am destroyer of worlds, I am Galactus. As they force you to watch the universe die. And then there's nothing. Do you hear music? Bong 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 bong. One of these is a fish, and I don't remember which one. And I don't love that feeling. Is it you? There you are. That's very different. Is that Solanum or is that Stranger? Stranger. Oh. Reverse? Can I bring him back to life? No? It's digging. Oh. Whoa! That's the... Nomai. And there's all of us. And there's the strangers. I have to let go, don't I? Oh, they're gone. because it's the end. And then I have to let go of myself. Raising some questions about how I'm able to do that. Oh, hello. We finally get to use it. Nope. Back to it. Oh, now they're moving. Oh. So I was right the first time, kind of. I just couldn't quite get it to work. Oh. One of these is the fucking fish. I don't know which one, but it's coming. The quiet shade. Across old bark. An ancient glade. It's always dark. They even make you float up here. Like gravity stops working the same way. Did I leave the worst one for last? This one's just mean. But I know it's coming. I'm just gonna mostly close my eyes and then it can't get me. Joke's on you, I closed my eyes, fuck you. Hey, jellyfish. What do you think you're doing all the way over here, huh? Sure. The stars were beautiful, weren't they? Even if our stars would ultimately kill us. I'll wait here to remember them while you gather everybody. The dialogue didn't change, but we're all out. Maybe I'm supposed to talk to him first? When my kind found the eye and realized what it was capable of, they were terrified. It was too difficult a truth, like a light too bright to look upon directly. It burned them. What they could not unlearn was hidden away in darkness, obfuscated, then lost. They did not want to see their story end. My kind weren't always like this. We weren't always so afraid. I did what I could to set things right. Yet I am still of my kind, and you know now what they did. I cannot promise our fear won't stain your mind. And so, a choice. Are you certain you want to remember me? Join us. Let's see what happens. I don't want to repeat my kind's mistakes, but if you're willing to take the risk, then so am I. And so the group's properly gathered, right? A conscious observer has entered the eye. I wonder what happens now. Is it time to find out? This song is new to me, but I am honored to be part of it. I hadn't dared to hope that anyone would hear the signal, or how briefly I set it free. Yet here we are. Are you ready for the final step? Yes. Then it's time Time to send our spark out into the darkness. Should I begin? You got it. I'll do my best. Here's my favorite part. Shall I begin? Well then, here I go. What do you say, time buddy? Ready to start the music? This should be cool. What do you say then? Should I get out the old harmonica? Here goes nothing. I can't wait to play the whole group again. Can I start? Okay, I won't let you down. And there we go, beating the game all over again. It's one of the most beautiful and peaceful games I've ever played that's about coming to peace with the inevitable death of everything. Kind of brutal to question. Are you sure you want to remember me? After everything that happened as a result of the stranger's choices, or the imprisoned's choices? The stranger's the ship. I don't know, I guess they're all the strangers, or we have nothing else to call them. But after all that, you get to pass judgment on him specifically. I guess I'm trying too hard to think about the story, but what I should probably be talking about is like reviewing the DLC a little bit. I don't know. To some extent, hanging out in one place for a long time felt a little out of place for the Outer Wilds universe. Each of the individual planets was relatively short, not like you just come and go real quick. In fact, it was all based around uncovering secrets from other planets that were about other planets, then going off and trying to apply that and having this big non-linear spider web. I feel like the new game was less less non-linear on top of being more fixed in one place. At the same time, hanging out in one more complicated location and sort of Metroidvania-ing your way through it or whatever and figuring out the right way through, like, that is my jam. I do like a pretty familiar place. The other planets were more barren by comparison, even though they're relatively small. Like, they're small enough that you just go from landmark to landmark real quick and you get to the places that matter. But they were relatively barren, and because they are dead planets. So the landmarks were all there was. Whereas the new location was more akin to the kind of locations I like to explore in general, so it's weird that it simultaneously feels a little bit worse. It's a little confusing. I'm basically just acknowledging that it feels like it somewhat contradicts the design that the series set out, that the game set out to have at the beginning, but it's also more akin to the type of locations I like in games, which is probably what overshadows it a bit and fixes it. Almost every time certain things happen, like almost every not very good choice or like seemingly like flaw you can point at in this game, I always feel like has like this personality to it or justification that kind of makes it hard to completely criticize. Like on one hand, the stealth sometimes felt unfair and you couldn't see that well, and also was just a little bit tedious, but at the same time having such a specific 3-stage control over your own light at all times and that level of visibility, while also having the enemies do the same thing, is genuinely really cool. Like, that's one of the most interesting moments I've ever had in a stealth game, was my first encounter with one of the strangers, and I shined a light on them just to see what would happen, kind of, because I was still sussing out whether or not they were even hostile or not. And then he shined his light on me, which was plenty threatening to be on the receiving end of. And then he turned his light off, and I'm like, oh, I can't see him. That's interesting and distressing. I can see why people would be afraid of it, but they just weren't very threatening to me in like the way that would stir fear. I was only nervous and like, oh god, they're gonna reset my progress, and like this is somewhat challenging and I have to try, but it wasn't like I'm terrified. Whereas like the fish are relatively easy, but scare me. I remember the mantis people, but some of these other details are new, aren't they? Like the guy holding the... Yeah, the guy holding the lantern would have been added by the DLC. So choosing to remember... Unlocking and choosing to remember Solanum and the stranger, the imprisoned stranger, probably both affect the future and how the ultimate universe turns out. It's hard to make a qualitative statement of whether that was better or worse. Although the stranger seemed to suggest that his personality would in some way be instilled upon the future. But that last bit, that was a viewer request, I think, was a... I think I vaguely remembered a bunch of people making a big deal about firing your scout into the eye. And it looks like that's the payoff as it shows up in the ending billions of years later, just hurtling through space. That's funny. Man, it was good to be back, even just for a little while. It's a relatively short game, both with and without the DLC. Only made shorter by knowing more about it. And it's rough because like part of you wants to go back and just like relive it. But I feel like I'd have to wait like practically a decade to fully reach that point. Until then, I wait with bated breath for what they pick next and what they make next. Hopefully this is one of those companies that sticks around and has future projects and all that, because like I would put the developers of Outer Wilds and the developers of Disco Elysium just right up there with From Software, where it's like, and Supergiant Games, where I'm like, these are the Hall of Famers. Like these are the developers where whatever they do is going to be interesting, and it's going to be an exception to just kind of the noise that is the video game market that's just so relatively uninspired. There's the AAA gaming industry that's so just iterative and chasing of trends that are often basically toxic and negative to the actual games being any better. And so I kind of avoid a lot of that in general. And indie is more promising, but there is definitely a chasing of the tail going on, where a lot of maybe even the majority of indie games are just like people, understandably somewhat just desperately trying to make a living and chasing trends in their own way. And there's just, you can only look at so many clones of Slay the Spire and Darkest Dungeon before you just get kind of sad about it. Like, just so many clones of those games, just almost like so similar that it's confusing, and you're like, come on, man. But then something like Disco Elysium or Outer Wilds or Dark Souls or what was the, I can pick some, I mean, there's Bastion, Transistor, Pyre, Hades, but my favorite is Pyre out of Supergiant. Even though I think it's the least popular out of all of them or something, Pyre is the most interesting game Supergiant's made so far. And yeah, these are my list, which is, well, there was a new Supergiant this year, DLC expansions for both Disco Elysium and Outer Wilds came out this year, so we can look forward to Elden Ring early next year, and then we get to have the long quiet where I might have to wait 2 or more years for any of these companies to pop up again with a new game. And the most likely ones are probably Supergiant and From Software. In about 2 or 3 years they'll have a new game probably. And these labors of love, like Disco Elysium and Outer Wilds, not only are they so one of a kind because they came from such a specific place and they took so long to make, it's nuts looking at the history of both of those games and just how many weird stages they went through. How many different, like Disco Elysium was several different mediums before it even became a video game, and even then it was called like No Quarter for the Furies or something like that. Like, it was a completely different title and had different, it was gonna have a larger party in it. And yeah, you can look at this really cool beta footage of Outer Wilds that's so far back that you're like, holy crap, they were like demoing this stuff years and years and years ago, and it was such a lower fidelity, but all the ideas were already there in certain ways, and just like the craft, like there's the realization that I've been doing this for like 10 years, and some of these companies have been making the game I played in 2019 for most of those years. But I'll see you next time. Hopefully we're all still around to see it. That was grim.